This is the show. This is my podcast. I am a random nerd 2016, and this is the week of the book, and this is my plush. I'm trying something new. Rather than saying welcome and the various how every other YouTube says it, welcome. Welcome to my show. Once again, we're back. It is going to be a heavier week. A lot of DC books, a lot of Marvel books, and some indies. Of course, gotta have some indies because indies are good. I forgot to mention one book last week, Justice League Endless Winter Part 2, the finale of Justice League Endless Winter Part 9. So that came out last week. I forgot to mention it in the show last week. I got also Jenny Hex special. That was a really good book, surprisingly. Really cool, but it couldn't topple this book. And I also got the Ghost Rider book, which I didn't enjoy as much, but it is what it is. How was your New Year's? How are you? And do you like the little angle setup I have here? I have more space. Yay. But yeah, how are you doing? And what books did you read last week? I'm really interested to know in the comments down below. But we're going to move on to the first book of the week, which is by Marvel, Amazing Spider-Man number 56, written by Nick Spencer, penciler by Mark Bagley, inker Andrew Hennessy, and another inker is John Dell, colorist by Rachel Rosenberg, and colorist by Edgar Delgado. The price of the book is $4.99, and this is the description of the book. Last Remains Post-Mortem Part 1. Last Remains takes its toll. You will never look at Norman or Harry Osborn the same again. We know Spider-Man won't. Legacy number 857, Last Remains Post-Mortem. That's the description of the book. Last Remains. It is taking way too long. I feel like you're trying to just... I don't know. I like Nick Spencer, but the storyline's has had a ton of tie-in issues. Well, 4 tie-in issues, but that's still a lot for what? From last issue to, like, the previous issue was way better than this issue, which I'm like, weird. But maybe this will, encapsulate. If you're trying to jump on Spider-Man, this is not a jumping on point. It's not going to jump on point. It is tough right now for a Spider-Man fan. If you want to jump on issue 50. Trust me, it'll be a lot easier to understand what the hell's going on in that book. Because a lot is happening in that book. But yeah, do not recommend. Issue 50, jumping on point. Next up, before we go to the next book. So if you want to follow me on Instagram anytime or ask me questions or on Twitter about comics or Pokemon or whatever, I'm there. I'm willing to answer any questions related to the stuff I post on my channel. The links to my Instagram and Twitter are down below. Also, all you have to look up is at a random nerd 2016, and you could find me. It's not a common name. And also, if you love this information, I post the League of Comic Geeks and Midtown Comics because they post the information and the release dates for comics. It'll be down in the description. And my friend who made music in the past, I'll put him down. I always give him gratitude because he's an amazing guy. But yeah, we're going to go to Image Comics for crossover number 3, written by Donny Cates, art by Jeff Shaw, and colors by D. Kanofi. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Kids Love Chains Part 3. Monsters and robots falling from the sky. Mysterious and familiar superheroes join our intrepid gang on their journey to event Ground Zero. Crossover continues with the series' most explosive and shocking issue to date. Don't miss this one, folks. If you do, it might drive you mad. It's a slow burn. Crossover, slow burn. I thought issue 1 was going to be different. I liked issue 2, especially that cliffhanger. Holy crap. Did not see that coming. It looks like we're getting Gundams from the cover. There'll be pictures either here or here. I haven't decided just yet. I suggest pick up issue 1 through 3 because it is entertaining and piques your head. That's all I'll say. Next up, by another DC book, Dark Knight's Death Metal number 7, written by Scott Snyder, and story penciler by Greg Capullo, inker Jonathan Glapion, and colors by F.C.O. Plasencia. The price of the book is $5.99, and this is the description of the book. And Anti-Crisis Part 7. The song remains anything but the same as the house lights start to come up on DC's biggest and baddest battle for control over the multiverse. The Darkest Night is on the verge of ending this concert once and for all, but Wonder Woman has one more than just a greatest hit plan. The Amazonian woman stands ready to shred the Darkest Night solo. This exercise finale issue includes not one but two mind-blowing epilogues that will lead directly to the next phase of the DC universe, and no fan will want to miss that. The cover for the book looks amazing. I mean, it's Wonder Woman just doing this. What the like how she came up in the 50s or 40s? Holy crap! I didn't enjoy Dark Knight's definitely in the very beginning, and I'm starting to enjoy more. I don't like that there's so many goddamn tie-ins, just too many tie-ins. But I'm happy it's ending. I really can't wait for DC's future because I'll talk about that in a bit because I forgot to make a video about Future State because it was New Year's, I was doing other stuff, organizing my comics, reading, and just time flies. And I apologize. I always say I always make videos, but I'm just a very busy guy, unfortunately. Because I would love to put so much effort in this channel, but I got other stuff to do, unfortunately. But yes, is it a jumping off point? No, because it's the finale of Death Metal. I do suggest pick up the trade because I think it'll be easier on your wallet, of course. Next up, Marvel Comics Eternals. It's just called Eternals. Written by Kieron Gillen, art by Asad Ribic, colors by Matt Wilson. The price of the book is $4.99, and this is the description of the book. Never die, never win. Eternals. What's the point of an eternal battle? For millions of years, 100 Eternals have roamed the earth, secret protectors of humanity. Without them, we'd be smears between the teeth of the demon-like deviants. Their war has waged for all time, echoing in our myths and nightmares. But today, Eternals face something new. Change. Can they or anyone on Earth survive their discovery? From the thought-provoking mind of Kieron Gillen from The Wicked Plus, The Divine Uncanny X-Men, Thor, and Sad Ribic from Secret Wars and King Thor comes a new vision of the classic Marvel mythology. Now, I don't know much about Eternals, but I am picking up because the movie's coming out, and also Kieron Gillen, Once in the Future and Die. Holy crap, love those books. So once I heard he was on the book, I'm like, I'm getting on that book because Kieron Gillen, really good writer, love his work. Uh, it's a good jumping on point. It's a good number one. We haven't had an Eternals book, from what I know, since 2013, 2015. So perfect jumping on point. I give this a highly recommend. So we're going to talk about Future State, literally in now. Future State, what it is, it's a little difficult to say. It's set 5 years in the future. It's a dark future. Our heroes are not going to be the same. We have different categories of books. We got the Bat family of books. We got the Super family of books. We got the Wonder Woman family of books. And we got the Justice League books. Now, Justice League will include Titans and all that. So, and that'll be its own category. But there's 4 categories. These are either 2 issues or 4 issues. There are just 1 and 2 issues and they're done. It might affect the DC books in the future, going on in the future. It might affect them going on for when they come back, because DC books right now are gonna take a pause for books like the mainline DC books. So Superman, Batman, Nightwing. There's a Detective Comics, Action Comics. So those are gonna take a pause. They'll be back in March. But right now we're gonna get Future State, and things are gonna be different. And I really hope this is just a hint of we might get in the DC universe when we come back. They said we might, but we might not. We'll see. So the first book to Future State is Future State Harley Quinn #1, written by Stephanie Phillips, art by Simone DiMeo, and the price of the book is $3.99. And this is the description of the book. In a bold move that rocks Gotham City, the magistrate has imprisoned Harley Quinn. The villain, once known as the Scarecrow, now a pawn of the magistrate, taps into Harley's knowledge of Gotham's villains and the Black Mask Gang for his own dark purposes. Crane and his bosses think that they have Harley Quinn defeated and her spirit broken, but they are so sorely mistaken. And Harley will have her revenge. Written by rising star Stephanie Phillips and drawn by fan favorite artist Simone de Meo, take the next era of Harley Quinn begins here. I believe Simon de Meo is doing the We Only Find Them When They're Dead book, if I am correct, which I'm going to check right now because I don't know. Yeah, Simone, yeah. So they get the artists from We Only Find Them When They're Dead. By the way, that book's phenomenal. And Simone. Sorry if I butchered your name. Uh, love your art, phenomenal art. I really can't wait for this book. There's only 2 issues, so it's up to you to decide if you want to enjoy Future State. Now, Future State was supposed to be 5G a long time ago, but it's not because fans. I don't like some of the ideas, but it is what it is. But there you go, new number 1 of Harley Quinn, and we're gonna move on to the next 3 or 4 Future State books, which is Future State Superman of Metropolis number 1, written by Sean Lewis and Brandon Easton, art by Cully Hammer and Valentine De Landro and John Timms, and colors is by Gabe L. Taib, and the price of the book is $5.99. And this is the description of the book. Superman of Metropolis, Part 1. The Guardian, Part 1. Mr. Miracle, Part 1. Before leaving for parts unknown, Clark Kent entrusted Earth's safety to his son. Now, Jonathan Kent is Superman. Top priority for this new Superman to protect Metropolis when a new version of Brainiac attacks. John takes drastic measures which result in the bottle city of Metropolis. Oh crap, but watch out, John, because Supergirl is on her way and she is not happy with your decision. Okay? Meanwhile, in the new Bottle City, a new hero has risen. Jake Jordan, the former Manhattan Guardian, came to the City of Tomorrow to start over, but he's not the only one who wants a new beginning. An anarchist calling herself Honest Mary sees this time of trouble as an opportunity for rebirth, and she'll tear down the entire city to prove her point. Does Jake have what it takes to save his new home from disasters both inside and outside the bottle? Superman's former pal Jimmy Olsen is going to make sure he does. Finally, the current Mr. Miracle, Shiloh Norman, is in the Bottle City. He's looking for a way out. He better be careful or he may end up someplace unexpected. It's a story that continues in Superman War of World number 1, which is another Future State book. So we got a lot going on. Superboy, Jonathan Kent is Superman now, the future, and Superman is gone. He's missing a new Brainiac and new Bottle City of Metropolis. I don't know how I feel like this, because if you know me, if you watch me from the very beginning, I don't like aged up Jonathan Kent. They should revert him back to what he was 10, 11. That's who John Kent is. That's how I read him back in what's his name? Peter J. Tomasi's books. Super Sons. We're getting a digital series of Super Sons, by the way. And once that hits physical, I will buy it because Peter J. Tomasi. Also, okay, that's a rent for another day. But yes, it's a good jumping on point. It's a new number 1. You may like this, you may not. It's up to you. But we're gonna move on to the next Future State book, which is Future State Swamp Thing number 1. Written by Ram V, art by Mike Perkins. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. From the ashes of a terrible war, life blooms anew in Swamp Thing's image. The remnants of humanity lie in hiding, forever in the shadow of the Green God, who now rules the planet. When the new avatar of the Green uncovers a stray human, a rebellion is revealed. But this Swamp Thing is no stranger to violent ends, and neither are his creations. If it's war humanity wants, it will be at its doorstep, and Swamp Thing will never be the same. Now, Ram V is good. He's writing right now. Ram V is the hottest writer probably in DC right now. Ram V is getting his own Swamp Thing book. I'm picking that up. Randy, I doubt he's watching. He's writing Catwoman. He's writing Justice League Dark. He's writing Swamp Thing, and he's gonna get his own solo series after his Future State. Randy, you deserve it. Swamp Thing. I love how his interpretation of Swamp Thing. Pick it up because I literally can't wait for this book. Like some of the books, I'm more hyped than others, but you'll see in my face. But we're going to move on to the next book, which is Future State Flash #1, written by Brandon Vietti, art by Dales Eaglesham, and the price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. With no powers, no backup, and no other choice, Barry Allen and the other former Flashes face the deadliest threat they've ever encountered. Wally West, possessed by an evil force trapped for thousands of years inside the Speed Force, Barry turns to his greatest foe's weapons to save the young man he loves like a son. In the end, how much will Barry sacrifice to save the former Kid Flash? Why? They just fixed Wally West. Like, okay, here's the thing. What is it with DC trying to get rid of Wally West? They literally character assassinated him in Heroes in Crisis. They kind of fixed him up in Flash Forward. Dark Knight's Death Metal, they fixed him. And of course, it had to be a time with Joshua Williamson because Joshua Williamson knows how to fix Wally. Every time they break him, Joshua was like, I gotta fix him again? Like, we just got him. And that's why I don't understand, like, how? Again, it's not Wally, but it's an evil force, but Wally's still going to feel that guilt because it was his body. This is a book that I'm not too excited for, but it's a new #1, and if you never read The Flash, I think this might be good for you. Next up, we got another book is Future State by DC, Future State, the next Batman #1, written by Paul Jenkins, Brandon Thomas, John Ridley, art by Nick Darrington, art also by Laura Braga, Jackson Hubert, pencil by Sumit Kumar, and inker by Raul Fernandez, and colors by Jordi Belair, colors by Gabe Eltab, and Tamara Bonvillain. And the price of the book is $7.99. Ooh, that price point. And this is a description of the book. The Next Batman, Part 1. Outsiders, Part 1. Arkham Knight, Part 1. Gotham City has always been dangerous, but now it's downright deadly. Following the tragedy of 8/8, the mayor allowed the private law enforcement group known as the Magistrate to take over policing so-called mass crime. And that has given rise to a new Dark Knight. What is the mysterious crime fighter's connection to the former Batman's weaponeer, Lucius Fox? The fight for justice has never been this dangerous. Then, in You Tell of the Outsiders, everything in Gotham City may be under the new thumb of the Magistrate, but even members of that totalitarian force known to the outskirts of town are protected by the Sword of Katana. Right with the Arkham Knights on their quest for freedom, Arkham Asylum has been decommissioned and the Magistrate rules the land with an iron fist and zero tolerance. Now it's time for the lunatics to take back their own. Follow Croc, Two-Face, Phosphorus, Zaz, Clayface, and Astrid Arkham as the Arkham Knights raise holy hell on the occupiers of Gotham. That's a lot to take in. So basically, if I remember this, 5 years ago, Batman went missing. He's dead, and he's not there, and a new Batman is arisen. And this was around the time when they announced the new Batman was going to be black and take over. A lot of people gave it shit, and I will say this: I'm okay with change, but if it makes sense, I have to read it and see if it makes sense. Mind you, I'm excited for this book. John Ridley is writing this new Batman. It's been hinted in Joker War, the Batman the Joker War Zone tie-in, if I remember. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm excited for the book, Batman. So we're getting a new Batman. So yeah, the final book of Future State is Future State Wonder Woman #1, written by Joe Lee Jones, and also art by Joe Lee Jones. So she's doing double work. Okay, that's cool. And the price of the book is $3.99. And this is the description of the book. Deep in the heart of the Amazon rainforest lies a hero of mythic legend, Wonder Woman. But in the absence of Diana, Yara Flor has risen out of obscurity to protect man's world from the magic that lies within. Along with her trusty steed, she journeys to the underworld to rescue one of her Themyscirian sisters from the grasp of Hades. Will she unleash the wrath of this god in the process? You won't want to miss this first appearance of a character who will change the history of Wonder Woman forever. Now, this was hinted back in, I believe, Steve Orlando's Wonder Woman run back in like seven something. I forget. And Yara Flores is going to be a new Wonder Woman, and you know what? She's getting her own show on the CW. So kudos for a new character, but she's not going to have any stories. Um, I'm excited for this. This is a new Wonder Woman, and I'm excited. This and Swamp Thing are like the books I'm excited for this week. I'm gonna have to read it to see if it's good. But Jolie Jones has written Catwoman and drawn Catwoman, so I trust him. Trust her. I trust her. But we're gonna move on to the next book. So all the feature states are good jumping on points, and we're gonna move on to the next book. By DC Comics, Generations Shatter #1, written by Dan Jurgens, Robert Venditti, Andy Schmidt, art by Paul Pelletier and Aaron Lopresti, and Brian Hitch, Fernando Pasaran, Kevin Nolan, and Ivan Reese. The price of the book is $9.99. Holy crap, that's a lot. And the price of the book, not the price of the book is $9.99. And this is the description of the book. A threat of cosmic proportion to DC's newest and oldest universe compels one of the most unusual groups of heroes ever assembled to take on the most mysterious foe they have ever encountered. What started in Detective Comics number 1027 explodes out of Dark Knight's death metal to tell the story of the generation-spanning history of the DC Universe. Join the original Batman, Kamandi, Starfire, Sinestro, Booster Gold, Dr. Light, Steel, and Sinestro in their quest to save the universe before time runs out. Generations Shattered. Basically, they're taking the old stuff of DC, like the first appearance of Batman. I believe we're getting Superboy from that from the cover. It has a bunch of my favorite writers. Two of my favorite writers, Dan Jurgens, Robert Venditti. I'm excited because they need to put Robert Venditti in another book because, man, his Hawkman run was good and nobody read it. I feel bad because I met Robert Venditti back at C2E2. Like, I had my Hawkman #1 sign and I felt so proud. We got a lot of artists on this book, so it's 80. It's a double-sized issue. It's like 80 pages. I'm excited, but will it affect the main DC book? I don't know, but we'll see. Next up, Marvel Comics, Guardians of the Galaxy #10, written by Al Ewing, art by Juanan Cabal, colors by Federico Blee. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. I think I had this album. The Guardians cleansed. Noel and his dragons are cleansing entire worlds of life. Spartax is the next target, and the Guardians of the Galaxy can't save it alone. It's a good day for the return of the legendary Star-Lord. Meanwhile, as the team battles cosmic horror, something worse is waiting. As the clock ticks down to the last stand in 3. It's a King in Black tie-in, which was it in the tie-ins? I don't know. I'm reading Guardians. I like Guardians. I will say the first 2-3 issues, when they killed off Peter Quill, I'm like, Peter Quill's not dead. He will come back because he is too popular in the movies. But I was like, after a while, I'm like, he might be dead. And then we had that issue with Star-Lord. I believe issue 9 was Star-Lord. And people were getting mad that he's bisexual, which I'm like, it's not in your face. It's just, it's just a page. Whoever takes up Guardians of the Galaxy next might forget that, might not even mention it. It's a thing, it'll come and go. If it's a thing that'll stay, cool. If it's not, fine. I just like Guardians of the Galaxy because Al Ewing is a really good writer. Um, I like the book. I really can't wait for the what's Al Ewing gonna do in Guardians of the Galaxy. But next up, we got another DC book. Oh, jumping on point? No, no. Generations, yeah, but Hellblazer. Oh, well, this book, Hellblazer: Rise and Fall, #3, written by Tom Taylor, art by Derek Robertson, and the price of the book is $6.99 because it is a Black Label book, and this is the description of the book. In this finale issue, it's absolute rapture. Yep, the finale to Tom Taylor's Hellblazer, and I'm sorry I'm not gonna get any Hellblazer books in the near future because I like John Constantine, but man, they just canceled his book, and this is a finale for this book as well. So I'm like, DC's we're probably I'm only gonna get John Constantine, so that's all I have to enjoy. So yeah, not gonna jump on point because it's finale for Hellblazer. So there you go. We got another Marvel book. Hellions #8, written by Zeb Wells, the head of X himself, Jonathan Hickman, art by Stephen Segovia, colors by David Curiel, and designer Tom Mueller and Corey Petit. And the price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Smile. It was simple. It was a simple mission: retrieve Nanny's ship and create a new containment armor for the recently resurrected Orphan Maker. But the emergence of an old enemy and his deadly warriors make their renewed life a hell on earth for the Hellions. Issue 7. Holy crap, that was a really good issue. Where two of our characters are different, and now if you read Ten of Swords, you know why. Things happen, and yeah, I'm really excited for this issue. And I read all of Hellions to prepare Ten of Swords, and I'll say this: I'm reading all the X-Men books because I said I'm not gonna read all the X-Men books, and now I'm like, I'm reading all the X-Men books. So Hellions, if you want to go jumping on point, issue 7, there you go, is your jumping on point for Hellions. We got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 more books, and then this will be the end of the podcast. Next up, Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics Iron Man #5. Well, it's a Marvel comic. Iron Man #5, written by Christopher Cantwell, art by Kafu, colors by Frank DeMarta. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. Bravest of the Argives, the first act of the Books of Korvac reaches its stunning conclusion. It's put up or shut up time for Korvac, as the android mastermind begins the next phase of his ascent toward absolute power, and Iron Man begrudgingly decides to finally ask for help, but from whom? As he takes charge of new allies and tries to use Hellcat's weakened state to his advantage, Tony Stark might instead risk everyone's life, including his own, especially when he confronts Korvac himself one-on-one. Christopher Cantwell's Iron Man, it's kind of middle for me. That's hard. I mean, I like the first issue, but like everything else has been kind of lukewarm, and it's conclusion to the Korvac saga. So maybe I want to say issue 6 is your jumping on point. It's such a shame because I like Iron Man, and I haven't read a good Iron Man book. I read issue 1. I'm like, this might be it. This might be the Iron Man book, and expectation went low. Yeah. But hopefully, I mean, Christopher Cantwell is writing Doctor Doom, and that's been good. Maybe it just takes a few issues. Maybe he's just a slow writer in the beginning, and then he'll pop up something else. We'll see. But man, those Alex Ross covers are so dope. Next up, we got Juggernaut, Marvel Comics, Juggernaut #5, written by Fabian Nicieza, art by Ron Gardner, colors by Matt Miller. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. It's not the end. He's unstoppable. The Juggernaut just keeps barreling down the path of righteousness, right into the hands of some very dangerous people. But the question is, for all his personal growth, can Cain Marco save anyone but himself? Juggernaut, this 5-issue miniseries is cool. Um, it's sad it's ending, but I'd rather have a book be ending than canceled. So, what Fabian says, yeah, thank you for writing a cool Juggernaut book. Yay, because no one's used them since Uncanny X-Men, I believe. All right, so now you're jumping on point because it's finale, but you can read it all in a trade, which will be awesome. Next up, King in Black, Return of the Valkyries, #1, written by Jason Aaron and Turan Grunbeck, art by Nina Vakuva, and colors by Tamara Bonvillain, and the price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Return of the Valkyries, Part 1. Once there was an entire army of Valkyries, but now Jane Foster is the only one. When the King in Black comes to Midgard, Jane must rebuild the Valkyries to help stop him, starting with Hildegard. Hildegard, I don't know, I can't pronounce the name. A warrior from Asgard's own hallowed halls, and X-Men Danny Moonstar, a former Valkyrie herself, but Jane doesn't know what Jane doesn't know is that she never was the only Valkyrie after all. Who is the fourth warrior? Jason Aaron and Turan Grombeck team up with artist Nina Vakuvia for a story that will rock the foundations of the Marvel Universe. Now, I'm picking this sign because I like the Jane Foster Valkyrie thing. It's a cool idea. The book, the whole series is had cool art. Jason Aaron, I don't like much of the Avengers, so it's gonna be hard pill to swallow. But we're gonna see. You know what? I have faith, hopefully, that this book is good. I mean, I try not to give crap to books, but sometimes I have to admit that it's not good. If you like the Valkyrie book by Jason Aaron, pick it up. I'm picking it up because it's just Valkyrie, and I didn't anything much with Jane Foster. So yeah. Next, a good jumping on point. Yeah, if you like Titans, if not, just read the main King in Black book. Next up, we got another Marvel book, Miles Morales, Spider-Man #22, written by Saladin Ahmed, art by Natasha Bustos, and colors by David Curiel. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. The battle ultimatum is over, but Miles and his family will bear the scars for the rest of their lives. A day with startling may raise Miles' spirits, but there's always another shoe dropping. So, if you read the ultimatum story, which holy crap, that was good, and they brought back the Ultimate Universe in a cool way, kind of. You have to read the book. And this is the aftermath, and Miles has to deal with the aftermath of Ultimatum, his family. I like it. Do I think a certain character is gone? No. It's Marvel. No one's ever dead. But yeah, pick it up. If you're going to, go jumping on point. Next up, Thor #11, written by Donny Cates, art by Nick Klein, colors by Matt Wilson. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Prey Part 3. It's a sunny day in hell, but the God of Thunder is about to bring down a bloody rain. Trapped in a suburban horror show, Thor faces down an old foe, but something far worse than the Midgard serpent is sinking its fangs into Thor's world. For Donald Blake now roams the Ten Realms with not but death in the brain? Death on the brain. Alright. So I like Thor. Thor by Donny Cates has been really awesome, surprisingly. Because I only have Jason Aaron to compare it. Yeah. But yeah, awesome. Awesome to see Donald Blake to be used again because he hasn't been used in goddamn years. And yeah, Thor in the realm that was just stuck for Donald Blake. Donald Blake is crazy now, so if you want to read this story, I believe issue 9 is your jumping on point. I do suggest pick up issue 9 because a lot of stuff happens in the first 2 issues, and oh my god, It's awesome. I literally cannot wait. So pick up issue 9, 10, 11 when you're at the comic shop this Wednesday. Also, I forgot to say, I have the comic shop locator in the description down below. So there's that. I forgot to mention that. Yay me. But we got another Marvel comic, Venom number 32, written by Donny Cates, art by Ivan Coelho, and colors by Jesus Alberto. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. The other side, the King in Black arrives. Eddie Brock is about to face the biggest challenge of his life, but he's not alone. Yeah. Uh, yeah, King in Black. Right now, Venom is in full King in Black. So if you're not reading King in Black and Venom, which you should be reading because it's a Donny Cates event, so basically anything written by Donny Cates is literally forming into one path. If you've read Donny Cates' books since, I want to say, the Thanos Wins arc, since what, 2016, 2017, you'll know what I'm talking about, because once I read Thor number 6, it kind of all clicked in one. So I'll say that much. Uh, we are going to move on to the next book and final book of the week, January 6th. It's a new year. 2021. Literally cannot wait. I mean, I'm already here, so I cannot say that. Yeah, X Factor number 6, written by Leo Williams, the head of X himself, Jonathan Hickman, art by David Baldeón, and colors by Israel Silva. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Sweet number 6. Death Scream. Siren is dead. Again, and again, and again. Yeah. That's the end of the book. X Factor, pretty interesting concept. It's the investigation team for the protocols, the Resurrection Protocol team. So there you go. They investigate what no one else will investigate. And they're a pretty cool team. So, yeah. That's the end of the podcast. And let's see what this guy says for the end of the week, which... Oh, there you go. That's what he says for the end of the week. And as always, I hope you guys enjoy. Have a wonderful day, night, whatever. And as always, peace.